All right, we back. We back. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Double Take, Being F&F podcast.
For real.
I'm Fallon, and
And
we
we
are
are
F
F
and
and
F
F.
in that order. We did it
Indeed.
in the right order that time. So yeah, we
Yeah.
in
We,
that order this time.
we was there.
Yes. Well, on our podcast, we catch up with one another and talk about things relating to life, pop culture, and trends through our individual lens as twins. So, with that, twin, it's been a long time.
I
Where have you
know, huh?
been? Where have you been, twin?
Twin, you know me. I be around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the walk this morning
Yes, we did.
for a great cause.
Great cause.
You know,
Yes.
SID, sudden infant death syndrome.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of appropriate to even discuss today since
For sure.
our topic for today,
Yeah.
kind of centers around having kids. But
Yes.
yeah, that has affected the family that I'm married into. So
Mhm.
I'm learning more and more about SIDS and the effect that it has on the family, emotionally and otherwise.
Sure.
So I was really proud of my sister-in-law
Me
for
too.
starting a foundation around her experience and allowing us to all be a part of it. And it's a way to honor her son and also create that awareness and support system
Yeah.
for other families. So, just all about family, supporting them and, trying to just keep my head above water.
I know
Other
that's
than
right.
that.
Don't I know? Don't I know?
Yeah,
Well, no, I couldn't agree more. You know, it was an honor to be able to participate. I'm
absolutely.
very, very proud of
Mhm.
my sis
Yes.
on that, on
the
her
Chatterbox
foundation.
Foundation.
Absolutely, kind of reclaiming
Right.
the unfortunateness of it all, but you can kind of reclaim. And his life, it means something. It has a
Yes.
purpose.
Yeah,
Because through this, I'm sure many people will be helped.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like even some of the people that she had speaking today and just creating that awareness, and even I learned some things,
Yes.
about how to keep the baby safe. And although you can't prevent it, but there are things you can do to
Sure.
try
To mitigate the risks.
exactly. So
Absolutely.
it's already helping people, and
Yeah.
yeah. So
That is
that's
so
what's
good.
up.
You know, I meant to ask her how did she come up with the name. I thought that was so cute, Chatterbox.
Well, I'm glad you said that because that's what I was actually about to say. Apparently, when he was like, he passed away at 4 months old, but apparently up until that point, he was very talkative
Wow.
and like just kind of baby babble,
Yeah.
and she would call him her chatterbox.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's kind of like an ode to him, and that's his name is his nickname. So
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I meant to ask her that question, so I'm glad you knew that answer. But no, it was a beautiful event, and it turned out great.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, and I'm always proud when people, they have that vision and they execute on it
Absolutely.
and see it through and, step out on faith and
Yes.
bravery because it takes
Yes.
all of those things
All of those.
to put yourself out there.
Oh,
So-
100%. Yeah.
So big ups to her for that.
For sure. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Well, yes, we did the walk this morning, and yeah, it's just been a lot going on in general.
Yeah,
but
in general.
life is good, and we glad to be back in the studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proud to be in the service.
Proud. I was thinking that same thing. Oh, I was thinking that.
One more time.
One more time. I was thinking that same thing, twin. We be right here. Right here on the dome. Right here together. Right here
We
together.
see each other.
We see each other. Okay. Have you seen that one where it's like Diddy and Candy going back and forth on the reunion, but it's like the words say something like when you have strong willed children or something, and it be like,
It's like a meme.
I said what I said, and then Candy be like, but what you said was some bull.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
any I said what I said, I'm gonna watch it because
Yes.
I just that's one of the more iconic moments for me.
100%.
In Housewives history.
100%. I agree. And it just say so perfectly that,
Right.
I'm standing on.
I'm standing on.
I'm doubling
business
down
and
on what I said.
Any questions?
There's no explanation
Right,
needed.
needed.
When you say, I
Full
said what I
stop.
said.
I
Yes.
said what I said. Like I double down on it.
I love it. It's clear. I love
it's very clear.
it. Yeah, I love it. Yes, for sure. They coming back on at some point. I don't know
Really?
when.
Is
soon.
Nene gonna be on there?
See, I don't think Nene, she not on
See,
there.
I hadn't watched
Yeah.
probably the last 1 or 2 seasons. Like
Yeah.
it's just not quite the same. for
It's
me.
not. The last one wasn't that great. But I heard they brought Portia back. They trying to
Okay.
kind of bring it back to what worked.
Oh, okay.
And from what I understand, there was one season in particular, like when Carlos King was still producing, they was like, we gonna make this good. Like they worked they wanted the producers to look good. So like the cast really kind of was like, we gonna do this. But it was like the good group. It was Portia. It was like all of them working together.
Nice.
And made it like a really good. That's from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say Carlos said that.
Yeah. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of sorts.
It is.
People, it's pros and cons to reality TV, I suppose.
100%.
Like anything else. But I find it, entertaining, and
I would agree.
you take it for what it is.
100%. I don't look to it for.
Right.
I know what I'm getting.
Right. I'm not looking to be empowered
right,
or educated per
exactly.
se.
Exactly.
Anything like that. Yeah.
I don't even look at it with that lens. And so then that gives you the foundation. And I'm not overly critical because, I already know what this is.
Right.
But like you said, it's a guilty pleasure. I do watch Housewives of Potomac. And I watch a few other kind of.
I never really got. I kind of tried. I started with Potomac. Is that kind of like in the Maryland area?
Yes.
That's that one. Yeah, I kind of started with them when they first started, but then I tapered off and I never picked back up with it. And just any of the others, I just never really got into as much as Atlanta.
I understand because I fell off with Potomac. I kind of watched and I fell off. I've gotten back to them.
Yeah, okay.
And they okay. But like you say, I just take it for what it is. It's kind of I feel like growing up, people watch soap opera. It's kind of like our soap opera.
Yeah, that's
to
a
me.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
When you need a little drama or something, know.
Who's going through it?
Who else? Exactly.
It can't just be me.
Can't just be me. Can't just be me. Can't just be me. Well, moving on to the double take segment
where we at?
of our podcast, where we kind of hone in on our topic for the day. Talking a little bit today about parenthood. Yeah, we both parents. We are parents. So talking about our experience as parents today.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I guess we kind of late bloomers in that way. Maybe you don't consider yourself one. I think that's a personal thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But like I'm a 40-year-old dad. I know you maybe 37, 38.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
when
don't
he
mind
was
me telling
born,
you that age,
I don't mind.
Okay.
I think he was 37 when I was born, we turned 38 like a few months after, 6 months later.
Yeah. So by some people's estimation, that's a little later in life,
Sure.
But it's, I think I'm the best person that I could be to be a parent now than I was before. And, it's never a dull moment. And I don't know if I would have wanted this responsibility earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I was going to say, if I had to do it over again, I don't know that I would have done it any earlier.
Like, I don't know if I was 30, would I want to have to do all this?
I don't think I would have.
I was enjoying myself at 30.
Exactly.
I don't know about you.
Exactly.
So, I don't know if I would have wanted to have to change diapers and anticipate somebody else's needs to that extent.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's a big responsibility.
Or would I have done it the kind of justice that I can do now?
Yeah.
Because I have had my pleasures. I've done my thing. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Same.
I feel like some people kind of sell their kids short in a way, in my opinion. Like pawning them off on people or whatever because they want to go live life and have fun. And it's kind of like you kind of want your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You still want to kind of be young, but you still want to have all this responsibility that kind of can tie you down. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes the kid maybe could potentially suffer. I'm not saying that's a given.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like I'm just at a place where I'm just really calm and kind of rooted and grounded. And so I can be about my kid.
Yeah. I would say the same. I've done the girls' trips and I've been places and got a chance to kind of live my life. So now I don't mind if I can't do something or I can't make it. I don't feel like I'm missing out all the time. Because a lot of times, too, I'd rather kind of be with my family, be with my kid, and spending that time. So I don't really mind.
Yeah, that either. I don't always feel like I'm missing out because this is where I'd rather be.
I'd rather be exactly right here. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe some of that comes with age or where we are. Maybe like we're saying, we've kind of lived in a certain maturity. I'd be curious if younger parents kind of feel that way, but I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Not at all. So talk a little bit about, how you felt when you found out that you were going to be a parent, like taking it back to the beginning, to square one.
Yeah. I would say, because our journey is a little unorthodox, it's a little different. So it's kind of like I can really approach it from various angles. Like I would say I was, excited, of course, and overjoyed, but, there was relief, there was... you kind of anxious because we had tried IUI twice prior to, and it was unsuccessful. So then once we tried IVF, that was effective, and even then it's only 50% success rate. So you just never know. And like I said, after 2 unsuccessful IUIs. We were just really trying to stay, feet on the ground. Let's just stay grounded and just see what happens. Let's not get too excited. But, we got the call. Like, I can remember very vividly the doctor called, like,
Wow.
congratulations. And so, I mean, just joy and relief and gratitude, so many emotions because of what all it took to get there and, the emotional toll and the financial toll and all of those things. And then, and then it's like, okay, now the real work starts with like incubating this life and seeing that through 9 months. You want to hope everything goes well then.
Yes,
so
indeed.
you go from one stage of kind of anxiety and yes, no, are we pregnant to, okay, do we actually have a successful birth? Because we know that those are 2 different things.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's very true. I mean, it wasn't really planned for for me.
It's a little shock.
It was a little there was a little shock factor. I just remember, you just not knowing, just feeling like nothing was happening. So then you think, okay, well maybe it's not gonna happen. Was kind of, I guess, more so my experience, and it had only been like 3 months. So maybe ain't nothing gonna happen. So maybe I kind of get settled in my mind that maybe I won't have a kid. Maybe it's just not for me. Flo been coming, so she's coming.
Right.
She coming. So I'm just walking around waiting. She coming because she comes because she been coming. She coming. Yeah. Oh yeah, she coming. I feel it. Ooh, I'm kind of when you get an attitude, she coming. My hormones and stuff. I'm mad. She coming.
Yeah, it's a different kind of hormone.
So I waited, and I waited a little more, and she wasn't coming. So I said, okay, I guess I better see what's going on. And you do the little at-home pregnancy test, and I had bought a 3-pack. And one was like an early response. One was, and I don't know the other 2. I don't know why. I don't remember why exactly it was a 3-pack, but I said I need to take more than one. So then I'm sure. So I bought the 3-pack, and then one was positive, 2 were negative. So then you say, okay, what do I do with this? But if one positive, then I guess, I guess it's positive.
But you had more negative than positive.
But I had more negative than positive. Exactly.
To make a person think well.
Yes, exactly. It was very much kind of up in the air for me, like, okay, so what does this mean? And then, when Robert got home, he was like, well, I can't go to sleep on 1 positive and 2 negative.
Right.
So we're going back to the store.
Like, I need to know.
I need to know.
If I got another mouth to feed or not.
Exactly. So we went back to the store that night and got another one before, we settled in for the night. When it was kind of late, but he was like, we going to the store. So at any rate, that clear blue got me in the game. That I wasn't even done peeing on it, and it was like pregnant, positive. Yes. So I say, okay, well, this must be the case.
Clear blue was like, let me clear this up.
Exactly.
Clear.
It
I
clear.
see why they call it clear blue.
That's
clear
right.
This up wasn't for all.
That's right.
It's blue, baby.
There you go. Not that this is paid endorsement or anything like that, but clear blue get you right. It will get you in the game. At least for me, my experience. Yeah. It's gonna tell you right. But so that was that. It was accurate. There was a baby in there, and I don't know. I mean, I think I was more in shock than anything. It's surreal. Like I don't really remember feeling much more than is this real?
Happy? Like some of you.
I think I was happy. I was nervous. Yeah. I think more than anything, it's kind of nerve. Yeah. It was more nerve wracking.
I feel like that's a different perspective from mine. Like you're actually carrying this life, so I can see how that could be a little nerve wracking.
Nerve wracking. It was nerve wracking. Kind of surreal. I think I was excited, and happy. That was a part of it, but just so unsure. Like it's just so much uncertainty around it. I think me and the way that I'm wired, I kind of let that get in the way of me just enjoying the moment of it all. Knowing myself, especially looking back at it, I probably was like too much in my head about everything, and it was COVID. It was October 2020, so we were in the midst of COVID.
Because what you mean uncertain? What about uncertainty?
You just, like you said, you want to have a viable pregnancy. You want to have so you just don't know, what you in for.
And don't want to get your hopes up.
Some of that, comes into play. You trying to kind of protect yourself from, so I ain't gonna get too excited, so it's all of that, I think, was at work.
And those are all like personal decisions, because I've known people who will, want to tell the world once they find out. Yeah. And but then if it, because I feel like that, if from my understanding, is the most vulnerable time of the
Yes,
pregnancy,
exactly.
and so much could go wrong.
Yeah.
And then you might have to then go back and tell people, well, didn't quite work out.
Exactly.
And so I'm more of the school of thought, like, we're not telling nobody until kind of let's get out of the woods, get out of this first trimester,
for sure,
and we'll go from there.
For
And
sure.
I understand that's not popular with a lot of people. I think some people were not happy that we decided to go the route we went, but I think that's a personal choice that each individual family has to make.
Yeah.
About what they want to divulge and when.
Yes,
Because,
I would agree.
It's already an emotional toll if things don't go well, and then we have to further explain. And for me, I was just really trying to protect my wife and myself and them. Like, I don't want you to be disappointed.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's not one thing for us to be disappointed if it comes to that. But then now we have to break it to you all too. So I was just trying to protect those around me from getting their hopes so high up and then being disappointed. But I could get how some people, for them, they look at it like feeling left out or not included. Or
I would have to agree with you though. It's a personal
so.
choice, and I think people try to respect the way people want to approach their
right.
And
that's why I'm okay
situation.
Ultimately, like, I don't care how you feel, because that was a choice that I had to make
for sure,
and I can stand on. Like, I felt like I did what was right for everybody in the situation.
Exactly.
So I don't really care, but I can understand how you feel. But at the same time, you just kind of have to get over it.
For sure, because I don't think we didn't tell anybody until I was done with the first trimester.
Okay.
We did that FaceTime call with y'all.
Yeah, I remember. And your phone was not charged. If you got an
announcement, did my phone go out?
If you got an announcement to make, can you have your phone charged for your announcement? We all on the FaceTime like battery dead. Come on,
classic Fallon.
Yes.
My bad. My bad on that. But yeah, we had the FaceTime call, but I must have been just about done with the first trimester. I know I didn't tell him at work until I was done with the first trimester.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of kept it under wraps. But one of the things that I think about a lot is that during that time, I had looked into going to beauty school, and I had gone to visit a beauty school actually, because I was going to try to go in the evening. I got a day job, but I was going to go in the evening. And I just remember going to that beauty school, and she gave me the information. I went back home and told my husband about it. And I kept listening to, I don't know if you're familiar with this song by Evie McKinney, but it's like, ain't that just like Duke. Okay, so my son is in the studio. Duke, you got to sit down. Sit down.
You in the frame,
you in the
man.
shot. Sit down. It's like she say, I see blessings coming out of nowhere. Ain't that just like God? And I had been playing it because I really like the song. I had been playing like on repeat, going to the beauty school, going about my day. And the next thing I knew, I found out I was pregnant. So that kind of derailed my beauty school plans. But I was like, I had been playing that song, and it was kind of like manifesting in my life, kind of coming out of nowhere. At least it felt that way. Leave that alone. It felt like it came out of nowhere for me, because I wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah.
So,
but they say that too. Like, once you stop trying, it happens.
Yeah.
Like,
when you start kind of worrying about it,
and trying too hard.
Yeah.
And just allow it to happen.
Yeah. That is what they say. That is so true. So true. So, kind of talking about, when we found out we were going to become parents, but now that you actually are a parent, well, how would you describe your approach to parenting? Are you on this gentle parenting train? Are you more old school? You somewhere in between?
Yeah. I think I thought I would be more gentle than I am. And I'm, cause like, this is kind of my first time being a parent from like infancy. So I'm learning myself. I'm learning who I am as a parent as much as I'm learning this life and, this new life and how to parent and how to, love it and all this. So I thought I'd be gentle. I thought I was more advanced or evolved than I actually am. That's some of what I'm learning.
Yeah, parenting will show you.
Yes,
it will show you.
It will test everything you thought you knew.
It will.
about who you are, what you would do, and all those things. And,
so true.
It's easy to be on the outside looking into somebody else's situation and say what you would do, how you would handle it, but you can't say until you in it.
That is so true.
And that couldn't be truer with parenting. So. But to answer the question, I think I'm a little bit of a few types. Like, I think I do have some gentle parenting ways, but I think I do have some old school also, and some new age. And so I think it, some discipline. I think it's like, a hodgepodge and a mixture of a few different types to, at least for me, make what makes a good parent. Because different situations may call for a different, type of approach.
I agree.
And also different stages of life calls for a different type of parent. Like right now, my daughter needs me to feed her and change her diaper, and but then she'll need me to take her to the mall or give her advice about dating, or so you will have to evolve as your kids evolve. So to me, there's not just one approach that I could just say I'm that kind and I'm just sticking to that no matter what the situation. Like, I think you got to kind of remain flexible and give what the situation calls for.
Agreed. Yeah. I agree. That's a great answer. I totally agree with all of that. When you say that you have some gentle sprinkled in there, how would you say that you parent gently?
I really try to use words, but it's difficult too with like a 13-month-old. Like, I can't really rationalize with her. Like, she, to what extent she understands the language, is limited. So I really, where I mess up, I try to be, gentle, but to me, my understanding of what gentle parenting is going to require me to use a lot of language that she don't have yet, and comprehension is not there. Yeah. So I find myself just kind of going old school. I'm just trying to assert my authority because that, on some level, she gets. Like, she gets body language, she gets tone. So I'm hitting you with that. Like, just I'm the boss. That's all you really need to know right now. Right now. You listen to me. You do what I say. You do what I tell you not to do, and what I tell you to do. Like, that's all you really need to know. Yeah. Me trying to kind of, Demi, is that a good idea? Like, it's not really.
I can see that.
It's not landing.
Yeah.
So, and my wife she called something to my attention the other day. Where I'm kind of like, hush that noise. It's kind of my go-to response sometimes when she's like, doing her little Demi thing where she goes ballistic or just, crying or kind of overreacting to something or not getting her way or whatever the case may be. So for me, or I feel like if a spanking, we do spankings if that's warranted. Then I'm kind of like, don't do all the dramatics and the screaming and crying. Like, I barely popped you. Like, cut it out. So I'm just kind of
feelings be more hurt.
Right. It's just really your feelings that hurt. So I'm kind of, my go-to response is, hush that noise. And my wife is like, where did you get that from? And I'm like, I had to think. Well, everybody I grew up around, I think that's more or less what I was told. That's what they said.
For sure.
Hush
that noise.
She's like, well, you can try to talk to her and just try to see what's wrong. But, again, for me, that comes with a level of comprehension that I don't think she has. But there are times where I'm like, Demi, sit on your bottom, please. I have to say it like 20 times. But, because, again, it's not as effective. Like, so I struggle with gentle parenting because it's like, Demi, sit down. Demi, I don't think that's a good idea. Or Demi, like, I try to use words and, that whole approach. But, it's not as effective.
I can definitely.
And when you're trying to get her ready for school, we're trying to get out the door. Like, I don't have time for the,
for sure,
finessing you and sugarcoating it. I got to go in the drill sergeant mode. And we got to get some things done. So.
Yeah, don't I know? 100%. Yeah. Well, that's a great perspective. My answer may have been similar when my child was at that age because it is kind of hard to communicate verbally with them. They don't have that understanding or comprehension. Right. So I don't know. Maybe one day we have to have an expert on gentle parenting or something for that age group because I don't really, or just in general because I don't think I gentle parent very well all the time anyway.
And there could be some,
sit down, baby.
Some things that are effective for someone her age. Couch. I'm just not aware of it.
Yes, exactly.
To your point.
Yeah, so, maybe the expert has to come in.
For sure.
But that's very interesting. I would totally agree with everything that you said. I think I'm mostly somewhere in between. Leave that alone. As I try to gently redirect,
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, because I do try to make room for him to be a 3-year-old, you know.
That too.
And
like you are a kid.
You're a kid.
You're gonna explore. You're gonna test the boundaries. I get that.
Sit on the couch.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to better understand and get to know you as well as you me. So
exactly.
Maybe you are rambunctious. Maybe that's just who you are.
Right.
So do I want to, like quench that?
Absolutely.
I don't want to quench that. Yeah. Like I want to foster that and help that grow.
Absolutely.
So that's the juggle too. With not being so much of a hard ass. Because excuse me, but because that may be just who you are, innately who you are,
right?
And who you were here meant to be.
I agree with that. I do, and I'm grateful that we kind of have that awareness so that we kind of parent from that place because I don't feel like maybe our parents thought
No.
You don't think about things like that. You just feel like children are supposed to be seen, not heard. You're going to walk the line. You're going to, and not taking into account kind of who this is a person,
right?
And kind of treating them, they're just a little person, young, but they're still a person and they have likes and dislikes and feelings and all the things. So, you have to kind of balance nurturing that with the discipline, kind of thing. And it can be a difficult balance, a difficult juggle because especially I think culturally, like as black people, your child can't be running around. We don't look favorably on
and
that.
It doesn't look favorable on you as a parent. To allow your kid
absolutely to just run amok, do whatever, crazy, So you do want them to be you kind of stern with you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do this.
And sometimes it's for your own safety. Like you can hurt yourself if you're running around a place that has things that are like hazards and stuff. So
absolutely,
so there are reasons, there are methods to the madness.
Yes, but absolutely.
Yeah, ultimately, that like you were saying, I think that's very true. Like I think we've evolved as a society emotionally to where it's not so far-fetched that children do have emotions and they're real people and not just supposed to be just kind of like you say seen and not heard and just kind of do as I say and it's like, well, how do you feel about that?
Sure.
What do you think about that? Like giving them choices, giving them options in their own lives, in their own existence. Not like, well, you just a kid, you just do what I say. Like, what do you like? What color do you like? Or what would you like to wear to school today? And empowering them early.
Empowering
because they're gonna need that.
Yes, within that reason, where you can.
Where you can.
And that's like what I do.
What do you want to wear to school today?
Exactly. Duke, you got to sit down, baby. Sit on the couch. Stay out of the frame, please. But and I tell my husband that because my husband's more old school. So it's like, no, he does whatever you say or he going to wear whatever color you have. But and I think some of it comes from our upbringing. So I have decided since I didn't get a choice, I want to give him the choice to say you can pick between red and blue. Now I'm not going, he don't get all the colors of the rainbow, but do you want a red or do you want a blue? Because I want him to know what he wants in life in general. I'm trying to set the tone for life in general.
For him to know,
what you want.
Yeah,
Exactly. So you decide for yourself what works.
Otherwise, you do. I find as an adult having to do some work to figure out
exactly
who you are,
I really
or find
am.
Your voice.
Absolutely, because I've been told my whole life, what I had to do or who I had to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Exactly.
So I do think, I agree with your answer. I do think, kind of finding kind of that balance that works for you and your approach with the gentle, with some kind of old school, mixed in there. You need a little bit of both, I think, sometimes. Ellington, Emmanuel. Sit down, please.
Dude, you want to be on TV? Come here. Come be on TV.
Come here. Don't get shy now. You been all in the frame. Now you want to be shy. That was a great tactic. That get him to.
I was really going, give him his little shine. He was about to get up.
So, but no, I totally agree. I try to gentle parent whenever I can. I try to be attentive to his feelings and ask him questions. And I try not to just go off the deep end. Also, again, like I said, trying to make room for him to be a 3-year-old and a 3-year-old boy at that. So I have to kind of redirect in a certain way where I have to just make allowance. Dude, be quiet for him being, curious. And I've had to step back and say, I can't expect him to be where I had to check myself as a parent because I'd be like, you don't do that, but I'm like, well, he doesn't have that awareness yet. He doesn't know that yet. So I have to kind of pull myself back, and I'm doing a lot better with meeting him where he is as a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Duh, son, you can't do that, but he don't know that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And we've had those experiences too as children, like where somebody may have done that to you, and it's like, I genuinely did not know that.
Yeah,
and
I'm a kid.
Right,
grab me some grace.
Right, yeah.
But it's crazy because I feel like our parents have that as grandparents, but they didn't really see it that way when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Come here, dude.
That's another code I can't quite crack. I don't know if it's their own evolution.
Yeah, and it could be. It could be. It could be.
Or, or they have like time and patience now in a way that they didn't have when we were coming up.
I think it's a little bit of all of that. I do.
So, but we have to practice that patience in the moment as parents.
Yes.
And be intentional about it. And they did too. But sometimes, they were successful or did better at it than others.
I agree. Because as we maybe segue from there into some of the challenges, of parenting. And I think that's kind of some of it. Like when you're a busy parent, you're working, you're going here and there. Sometimes it's hard to have that patience or be that gentle parent in that moment when it's like chaotic. Even today coming here, it's like, come on, Duke, we gotta go. Or right now. Yeah, exactly.
And you just flow with it.
Yeah, This is real life, guys.
Right, 3-year-old kid. What
exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I thought he'd do a little better because he genuinely, like, usually he kind of sit for me. People be like, he's so good, we go places. So I thought he'd be okay, but I see I was wrong.
You gotta be flexible because you just never know sometimes.
So true. But challenges, as I even mentioned, just trying to get here today. Or just in general, I feel like time does not go by. It go by so fast. We trying to get out the house like with a kid.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Every morning for me.
It be on double speed. Like, wait, what happened to the time?
Every morning.
Yeah.
Every morning. That, like, kind of what I was saying earlier about, just being a disciplinarian at this point. When I'm trying to get out the door in the mornings because I'm on drop off to daycare, so I got to get back home and get on the clock, get to work. Like, I don't have all morning to play with you.
That's it.
And now we have to brush teeth. You got 4 teeth that we have to brush. So that adds one more thing into our routine.
Yes, it
does.
And
now, initially she liked the toothpaste. She liked the, fruity flavor. And, we were getting our teeth brushed. Yeah. Good. We can incorporate this, no problem. Lately, it's been, I don't open my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Moving her head side to side. I can kind of get it in there, but then she got the mouth closed. I'm trying to brush, and then she spitting it out. Okay. So, I mean, every morning is that. Yeah. Now. But, so it's like, hey, get with the program.
Get with the program.
I don't have time for this. I gotta get to work. I gotta get you to school so I can get back here and get to work. I have other people that I'm accountable to. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I feed you.
Yeah, so, right, exactly.
So I need to get back to work. Things you don't know or care about and not even on your radar.
Exactly.
But trust me, it's important.
It's important.
And that breeds the impatience and all the other things. It's really
100%.
It's always kind of deeper or bigger than what's on the surface of what the kid is doing. It's the overall overwhelm of, hey, I'm juggling a lot. I could use a break, kid. Like,
exactly. Yes, 100%. And like you say, they have no concept. No.
As they shouldn't. Right. I think if you're parenting well and handling it all well, ideally, they shouldn't know. They shouldn't feel it.
Yeah.
They shouldn't feel financial strain or stress or anything. Like, just try to keep a happy, positive environment. So.
Yes, for sure. And we do strive to do that for sure. But no, I could not agree more. And we brush teeth. We've been doing this since he had teeth, kind of similar to, so, at a year and a half or a year, I still have to say, open your mouth. Open big. Every time.
Wow,
morning
so
and
it
night.
Get much better,
it does not.
I just knew.
It does not. Open big. Open. Like, it's like every day. And I'm like, we do this every day.
Come from
But come on. Come here. He'll act like it's the first time we've gotten dressed for school. Like, you know the routine. You know the drill. You know the deal. Let's go. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I would definitely say that is the challenge to being a parent is, as you stated, just trying to do all the things and then you got to get to work. I feel like sometimes when after I drop him off at school and I'm get back home to get logged in, I feel like I've already like I need a break. Like I've already worked, like now I got to regroup and pivot and get online. But I feel like I've already done a piece of my day.
Absolutely.
At work,
absolutely.
Because it's just a lot. And then you're a whole person, so you're trying to take care of yourself. Right. So I need a little breakfast. I need a little, I haven't done anything for me because I'm trying to get you together.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I had a lab for my kidney specialist, so he wanted me to do blood labs, and and it's like you just try to be adulting, right? You just try to be a good adult. I called, hey, am I supposed to do blood work before this appointment? Yes, you need blood work. Okay, why did you not mention? I get to the lab, then it's like, oh, can you do a urine sample also? Now I call. Why didn't anybody mention I had to do a urine sample? Mm-hmm. Because obviously, well, not obviously, but I'm ripping running all morning, getting Demi out the door, getting her to school. Then I go over here to try to do my labs, do something for me. and I didn't have like one sip of water, any liquids all day. So naturally, I can't go. I can't make myself go because my body's like, I'm empty.
Yeah.
So it's like, to your point about just trying to get you together and trying to make sure, like, I hadn't had time to even take a sip.
Yeah.
I have nothing to give. Like, I just had to walk out of there. I did the blood sample, but I couldn't give them a sample of urine because, like, I'm like, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a kid, maybe I would have woken up at my leisure, had a big cup of water, and done all these other things. But it gets difficult.
It does. It really does. It's a challenge. I used to take, when I didn't have a child, I took my lunch to work every day, and I was just disciplined in that way. Now I understand why they go buy some. Sometimes I have to buy something from the food court. I'm like, I just didn't. I don't. I'm focused on him and getting him together, and I have to just do what I have to do for me.
Yeah, because mind you, I mean, Demi had liquids. In
right.
The morning,
she
has everything she needs.
what they need. Right. Right.
So it's and which is important. I wouldn't have it any other way.
For sure.
But it does then make it. You have to be that much more intentional, or get up that much earlier, or do whatever you have to do to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
100%. 100%.
But other challenges I would say is I do come from back there.
Come here.
Because I see that look on your face.
I appreciate you.
He looking like, ooh, what's this?
Okay, we have to sit. Okay, we working on something right now. Okay, so you need to be still. If you don't sit, you're gonna sit with mama or sit on the couch, but you have to sit. Okay.
It might be bribe time.
And look, I'm gonna say, Rocky, going back to the store. Okay, if you don't behave. Dealing with 3-year-old moods is another challenge.
Another challenge, right? We
oh
on the
my
right,
goodness, topic, right?
I tell you that.
Yes, but what were you gonna say is another challenge?
I think just like I'm the dad, so I think it has its challenges. Just trying to, I guess, figure out where I fit in, because and it's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong, but just my wife coming from a big family, and I have a big family, and everybody wants to be a part, and so it's a difficult juggling act though. It's like sometimes I almost the people who live in a place where they have no family, although I feel for them because you don't have a village, and I wouldn't trade that village and that support for anything. Yeah, but trust me, it's a hard juggling act sometimes, having a village also. Because it's like, who's going to get to have her, and who's going to get to do this, and who buys her this, who buys her the Valentine's Day outfit. Because everybody wants to have that, claim to, I did this for her, and I bought this. And, it's like, then she got parents too. I may want to buy, I may have wanted to give her first, whatever, So it's like you have to kind of really find your place in the whole thing. And and then even, the SIDS topic that we were talking about earlier, like just being in a family that has experienced that, it brings its own challenges, especially when the baby is an infant. Yeah. And just being patient and being understanding of, their approach to it, because it's not a rational one. It's a trauma-driven emotional response. And so many people, especially people that are fortunate enough to not have experienced that, can be so logical and be like, well, that, what is it? That doesn't make sense, or why would you do it that way? And it's like, this is not a logical thing. Like, we just have to, I have to give my wife room to go through her process and do whatever she feels is right, or whatever makes her comfortable in regards to this young life, given what she's been through. So it was challenging, and it still kind of has its challenges in a way, although Demi's bigger now, so we're kind of out of the woods for that kind of thing. But, I just feel like, there are just some lasting effects with maybe her being held or things like that. So it's like, can you come hold her so I can do X, Y, and Z? And it's like, I don't know. It's like, how can we get away from the expectation that she be held, that she has now, that she's developed? Yeah. And so it all comes out of keeping her safe and things like that. But it still can be somewhat challenging for us to navigate as a couple, because, like I say, you're already stretched thin enough, and then you kind of straddle to the kids sometimes, in a vein of safety, but at the same time, it's like, I can't be productive. Yeah. And, can I be productive and keep my kids safe is kind of, I think, the question, or the thing in our home.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, especially the younger they are. As they get bigger, obviously, you kind of can, move around a little bit, and get things done. But it's definitely a challenge when they're little. It really is.
And I didn't know, and I guess I would not have known to anticipate that or what that would be like. I don't think any of us knew what it would be like until we were in it.
Yeah.
Like, how my wife would be with her own kid after going through that. Yeah. Like, we had no way of knowing what it would be.
Sure.
So we, like, kind of learning as we go.
Yeah.
And like I say, we're getting through it, and of course, because that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be there for her and support however I can. But it's not to say it doesn't come with its challenges.
It absolutely does. And that does remind me, even when Duke was an infant, that was kind of my least favorite stage for that reason. Like, kind of, you try not to rush him growing, but I was glad when he kind of got out of that stage where I was worried about.
For sure. That's a rough
something
stage.
like that happening. Yeah. That's
a rough stage to be in. That's probably, it's exciting. You got this little baby and they so cute and cuddly, but that is probably one of the, if not the most stressful.
Yes, it is stressful.
Because they are, like we were talking about that with Dr. Goldstein, who spoke today, like they're their own little creatures. And I didn't realize until we had Demi that how different babies were from like regular grown human beings. Like they are totally different.
Yes,
like they little bones and everything about them is just so different. And it's like, I didn't realize they were so different.
Dude. Leave that alone. Put that down. Leave it alone.
Behind me.
Leave it alone.
Is that Duke? I see you. Come here.
Come on, Duke. Come here. Come here. Come here. Don't sit down. Sit down and stay seated, okay? See, this is where, you want to go old school, but we recording, right? I'm trying to keep it cute.
Keep it cute.
Trying to keep it cute.
It's bribe time. Some ICECREAM.
Yeah.
He don't eat that.
Okay, so no more treats today if you're not gonna listen. Okay, you understand? All right, let's get it together. So I would say, in addition to dealing with 3-year-old attitudes, in the way that they see the world, kids a challenge. They are expensive. I would say, the dollar signs. Child care is expensive because you have to work, and so somebody's got to send them to school or daycare or something like that. Is very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to make it clear I'm not complaining about having a large village and people that want to be there for my child and do for my child, because from a financial perspective especially, it is a huge help and a huge relief.
Yes.
So I am not complaining by any means. I'm just saying everything comes, at a price, and everything comes with its challenges with that even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't trade it though.
Yeah,
it's like it's a good problem to have at the end of the day.
For sure.
So many people want to do for your child. And,
it is.
With the milk and the bottles and diapers and just all the things. And now she eating with us, so it's like we got to buy more food, because she has teeth and stuff like that. So it's not just milk. So yeah, and like say daycare every week, we pay that. So it's financially, and they grow out of clothes so quickly.
So it's fast.
She in 18 months. Nope, now she's in 24 months. So we've been trying to rush through all these 18-month outfits just so she could at least get to wear them once. You buy all these clothes, and before you know it, they can't even wear them.
They grow them so fast. I've started trying to buy his stuff a little bigger.
Yeah.
And kind of the downside of that to me is that it's kind of big at first, and it doesn't fit quite the way I would want. But I'm like, but you buy the size, and I'm
that perfect fit.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So at least you can maybe wear this by this time next year, it fits. And we got to get 2 seasons out of it versus, just a few months, and we buying something else. Cause I be feeling like I just bought school pants. Now I'm like, kid, you're growing out of them so fast.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely kind of the financial component. It's a bit of a challenge.
Definitely increased.
Yes.
But I would say too, like, I've really had to. I've worked on finding my voice in general. Like you said, just even in our own being parented, you didn't really always have that. So empowering your kids to have it earlier on.
Yeah.
But I've also had to work on my voice as far as for my kid, like advocating for them.
Oh, sure.
And that wasn't something that, on some level, but I had to really get a crash course in that with, you know, our baby being born in January. You know, it's like cold and flu season. You know, there's always COVID to be worried about. And then, like, she's the first granddaughter on my wife's side. And so, you know, and then even on my side, like, I'm happy, I'm proud, I want to show off.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
just really having to set those boundaries, too. Like, you know, if you, and then being vaccinated for RSV, like, things I didn't really know.
Yeah.
To have to ask people. If, you know, you're going to be
whooping
around
cough.
the kid.
Yeah.
Right. The whooping cough vaccine. And, you know, like, do you have that? Or, well, you can't be around the kid. Like, I had to, you know, really start advocating for her early and potentially being the bad guy, but for her safety. So, because I remember once the doctor was going to give her all these vaccines, and she was very little, probably like 2 or 3 months old. And, you know, the nurse came in and kind of intervened, which I'm grateful for. It was like, this baby, I know you trying to, you know, the doctor was really just trying to meet our needs as far as, because we had so many people that wanted to be around the baby, and we wanted them to be around her family and friends and, you know, her village. But I was grateful for the nurse who intervened and said, well, this baby's just too young for all these vaccines. What y'all need to do is tell people they can't be around your baby. Like, don't pump her full of stuff so other people, for other people's benefit.
Absolutely.
You know,
they'll get to see her.
They'll get to see her. Let her grow and develop.
Let her grow
and
up.
We'll give her these vaccines when
then
it's
they
time,
can see her.
You know, and then they can see her. And not to say that the vaccines would have necessarily harmed her, but it would have been a lot on someone so young.
Absolutely.
Nor, like I said, in hindsight,
it's not like the optimal treatment.
Yeah,
you know, we can do it. You know, but
plan, but we can do it, kind of thing.
Sure.
So, and it's like, nor is that fair to her,
right?
To have her have to get doped up so everybody else can be in her face. So, just really advocating for her in that way. And saying, well, if you don't have your whooping cough vaccine or this or that, you can't be around her. If you are around her, we ask you to wear a mask and, you know, things that people found inconvenient or uncomfortable. And, you know, the most, like, why y'all got to do all that? It ain't that serious. I done had 5 babies. I know what I'm doing. All of that. But it's like, well, this is the best way I can advocate for my kid, because although you had 5 kids and that was successful and there were no incidents, that's not to say that there could not have been with regards to, you know, this or that, and you not being vaccinated against certain things. So I would say that was another challenge for me, is really that advocation piece and being okay with conflict even around people that I know and love. With regards to my children. It can be
uncomfortable, but yes, it's necessary.
I don't play about mine. So if it's up, it's up.
Same, definitely the same in that regard, because he was born during COVID, and so it was just a whole thing. And when you have a baby that little, and they are so susceptible to getting sick or very vulnerable, I should say. And we were all starting to get vaccinated and stuff, but they didn't have a vaccination for the little baby. So I had to be very careful with that. And so not only with family, but even us being a blended family, you know, you got people coming, bonus kids coming from another home. So they're around people in their home, and then they go to school. And so they could bring, you know, they have a lot of chances to potentially pick something up. And how do you navigate in those conversations can be difficult, because you don't want to make it seem like, well, my baby means more than you, but exactly. But at the same time, if we all, my messaging was more or less like, you know, we are a family, we are a unit, and we have to take care of the most vulnerable amongst us, amongst our unit. So we all love Duke, so we all have to kind of take some precautions, and maybe that means sometimes we don't visit as much, because, you know, we might, that could potentially expose him. You know, to something that we wouldn't want him to get sick, right? So
1,000%.
So we just have to do what we have to do.
And that's how you have to see it. Like, you don't want to bring him any harm. Nobody's saying he will.
It's not
Nobody's
you,
saying,
right? Exactly. It's not personal. It's not you.
But we just want to keep him safe for now. Because to your point too, like all the medicine and stuff, like we couldn't give Demi anything that first year. Like we giving her like homeopathic stuff if she had a little cough or something.
Everything really is like 2 and up. Most of the medicine is 2 and up.
Yeah, you can't give her none of this, you know, hard hitting stuff that's gonna really be effective treatment for a lot of different things she could potentially encounter until she gets older. So
that is so true. And at the end of the day, I just feel like as parents, it's just your call, and people just have to respect that, or they just have to, if they mad, they mad, because you're gonna be the one with a sick baby. You know, that's on me as a parent. If something happened to this child, or if I have a sick baby and I'm in the hospital with him with RSV, that's on me. You ain't gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You know, and I'm not saying they wouldn't be concerned, and maybe they would come and see him, but you're not gonna feel it the way that I feel it, because that's my child. You know,
1,000%.
So it's up to me to advocate for him. Right, exactly. And the bill gonna come to me. Exactly. So it's up to me to advocate for him. So, but no, I will say that is a challenge for sure. Yeah. For sure. I never heard so many opinions as when I became a parent.
Man, and, there's always something we not doing right.
Always.
Y'all not doing this. Y'all
Always.
didn't do look.
Always. Everybody's an expert.
Right. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an expert.
Yes. Yes. Well, we talked about the challenges, but what are the good things? There's some great parts as well. Yes.
The good definitely outweighs the bad.
It definitely outweighs yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun,
It's a lot of fun.
You just, at least for me, like I've just found another gear in life that I didn't even know I had. But when your child needs something, you just do it. She need a diaper change, or just get up. Now I might have been holding my pee for 2 hours, but she need her diaper change. I'm getting up. So it's just like they just matter so much, and then you love them so much, and they bring so much joy. Yeah, you just want them to be happy and secure and safe. And I take none of it for granted. Like, my baby is happy at home. Like, this is her home, and she's happy there. Yeah, she watching Elmo. She playing with her toys, and I take pride in providing a space where she can thrive and be
I love that.
her best self and enjoy life, So it makes me feel fulfilled, just her own happiness. So
I love that.
It's just fun. She's fun, and kids are fun, I think.
They are. They do bring a lot of joy.
And they remind you kind of your innocence and not to take yourself so seriously and all those things,
That's true. That's true. Because you can kind of have like a hard day and not so great day, but then you see your kid and it just kind of makes everything better. At least it gets a little better. Like you say, they smile or they say or do something, and you just like
they say or do something to really just light you up, and then they light up when they see you, and that makes you feel good.
It does.
I feel like maybe nobody loves you, and I could be wrong, but for me it's like nobody loves me like their kid. So I would agree. That's love on a different level for me. Like I have never been loved like that before. The way she loves me.
I would agree.
And that was like, I had a whole moment. Like, I was just like, what is happening? I was just crying. I was like, what is happening to me? Yeah. Because we just had this moment, like the way she looked at me and the way she kind of just gravitated, like, put her head in my chest. And I was like, what is happening? Like, this person really loves me and relies on me, and I'm her world. Like, I don't know if I can handle that. Like, I was just boohoo crying, like, oh my God. Like, I never been loved like that before.
I would agree with that. I really would. And I think too, just being a mom, and when you like carry a baby and then you birth them, that's love on a whole nother level.
I'm sure.
It's love on a whole nother level. And I try to tell my husband, because I feel like he's so he didn't have that experience, obviously, but he's kind of like, y'all two together, but it's like you just won't, maybe you just won't get it as a parent, the bond that you would have with someone.
Dude.
Ellington Emmanuel, stop it. Come here. What did we talk about? See?
Come here.
Parenting, okay?
She didn't have to pull out the government name on you. You
I
cutting
sure
up so.
Did. The whole name. Dude, come here. Come here. Come here.
Nephew.
Get out of the frame. Come here. Why you not listening? And Mama tell you to listen all the time. Come on now.
I don't have no gum or
I do, look. And all that candy we had at home, I should have. Look, I should have brought some of them treats that he had at home. Keep him occupied.
Got some candy.
But I will say, the bond that we have, the love, like you said, the laughter.
I would think a dad could develop their own. I think it just comes with time and attention, and because it wasn't immediate. Demi was probably 3 or 4 months old when I had that kind of breakthrough moment. Yeah. So it took time, but and it's not to say I didn't love her right off the bat or anything like that, but for us to really just have that moment where it was locked in and it clicked for me. Yeah. It took about the first 3 or 4 months, but like I said, in that time together. You know?
Well, he and his dad definitely have their own bond, and they look for it. He looked for his dad, and his dad be looking for him.
I'm sure.
And so they definitely had their own bond, but it's just different with me and him. Like it's a closeness.
Yeah. Oh, with Sharona and
that that I can't even describe. But he'll be like, "Mama, you're so beautiful."
Oh.
Mama, he just like you say, you kind of somebody's world, and it makes me sometimes a little hesitant, like about the way I live my life. I'm a little hesitant, like. I just don't want a world where he don't have me when he this little, So I'm kind of cautious sometimes about things that I do, because I'm like, I got somebody that really depend on me.
I agree with that,
and I don't want to leave him. I mean, I want to eventually. I want him to outlive me. Yeah. But I don't want to leave him this young. So I'm like, I might not do that, or I might.
I agree with that. It does make me think that way. Like, even the way I drive, especially when she's in the car.
Sure.
But just in general. decisions I make or choices. You know, certain people, I'm like, my homeboy, like we riding. I'm like, bro, I got a kid on the way.
Yeah.
Back then, Charlotte was still pregnant. I'm like, where are we going and what are we doing? Cause
yeah, exactly.
I need to make sure I get home now.
Right.
You running red
different
lights
when it was just me. Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, bruh, what's happening? So yeah, it makes you really start to think, and and even things that I didn't really necessarily see as a priority. Dude, I'm trying to talk, man.
Be quiet.
You gonna talk, I'm gonna talk. So, yeah, like I got life insurance now. Like not just the one that come with the job. Like, like I'm paying.
Not the basic, the supplemental.
Right, like I'm paying like a separate whole policy outside of work for life insurance. And so things that I didn't really see as a priority before, it's like, no, I got to make sure if something happens to me that my kid
for sure
is okay.
Yeah. It put a whole new spin on things. It definitely does.
Yeah, I'm taking care of myself. Like I say, I got a kidney doctor. Like, and then once whatever he told me to do, I did.
Yeah,
I want to be here for my kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. And I think to that end, just kind of having a legacy, I think is one of the best parts too about having a kid. Just kind of leaving something that'll my prayers outlive me, and just kind of have a legacy.
Without a doubt. And just and they keep leveling up. Like, you're supposed to be better than me.
Do more,
right. And make sure your kid's better than that. Like, y'all just keep taking this thing forward, onward, and upward.
Keep going.
Like,
Dude,
I want my children to really know who they are. Like 100%. Empower them.
100%.
And just be proud of who they are, proud of their name.
Yes.
And carry their name all over the world and make a world impact.
Ellington, Emmanuel, stop it, please. No, 100%. I try to, especially as he's getting older, like kind of do affirmations or tell him, because he'll say, somebody in his class may say, you're a bad boy, or things that seem to make him like crestfallen, like kind of down, maybe hurt his self-esteem a little bit. So I tell him, he is who God say he is. So I be like, you the head, not the tail.
Yeah.
I say, you the above and not beneath. When they say you a bad boy, you say, no, I am the head, not the tail.
Right.
I'm above and not beneath. I'm a little, not a bar. I am, I'm a child of God. Everything that the Bible say about you, that's who you are. Exactly.
A rebuttal for that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do affirmations in the morning. I definitely want to, speak into her, and I want her to know how loved she is, how capable she is.
Yes, exactly.
And I think just as a dad, like, I think I'm more of the one, like, maybe I'm a little hard on her, and I acknowledge that, and I really try to not be, but like, I just want her to know she's capable, and I want her to be like tough, not like tough, like nothing negative, but I just want her to be strong, and capable, like, because I'm not gonna be here always.
Like yes, exactly.
Very empowered.
Yeah,
like, you can do anything. Like, I don't want her to shrink. Because again, I feel like even me as an adult, I've had to undo and relearn, and so I'm really just trying to prevent that. For
set
my
you
kids,
off on
right?
that, right? But for sure,
and give you the springboard to where you just
absolutely
take it further than I ever could. Because I'm, in my late 30s or mid to late 30s to 40s, kind of figuring some of this out.
Yeah.
And if I can instill it in you from the beginning, think about how far you'll go. So
for sure,
that's just kind of, I think, more what I'm trying to do. But I have to be careful that doesn't come off as
kind of being a little hard. I agree though, because kind of I think I've shared with you before, and I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but I think we've talked about just kind of being that for our kids, to encourage them and help them to feel empowered, so that they know that they can do anything. Like you said, kind of putting them on. I've said it before, I didn't even want him in the playpen as a baby. Like, you don't have limits on you. Like, you can do anything. You can go anywhere. You can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want him to think small. I want him to think big,
For sure.
know. And so he's already kind of introverted, and he seems to kind of struggle with owning his space. And so I feel like I have to be even more intentional about living.
Introverted right now.
Look.
Boy, that boy a star.
Look. I feel like I have to model for him even more so.
Yeah.
And like we talk about, this was what I was going to say, Kanye West's mom. I just always think about watching that documentary on him. Yeah. And she knew every line to like his rap. This, like before he was even really like Kanye West, like she knew all the lines.
She always believed in him.
I just feel like that makes such a difference in a child's life when you have your parents like rooting you on,
behind you,
getting
like
behind
you. Can do anything.
And I try to be that for him. Like, I'm your number one fan. Right. I think you can do anything. I think you're great. When he bring home a little paint, Picasso. You Picasso to me. Whatever you do, I think you do it great. Basquiat. I think you do it great. Whatever
Yeah.
you do, I'm your
Right.
number one fan because I want him to have that confidence. You know, I feel like sometimes your parents kind of make or break that in you.
They
You
absolutely
know,
can.
yeah.
And then I think too, sometimes as parents we don't realize just how much stock the kid takes in
And what you say,
or
exactly,
how
or
you
how
feel
you
about them.
absolutely.
Like, so when they
Yes.
crush you,
Yes, and it
it's
has a
almost,
lasting.
It has a lasting.
Yes,
It's almost
indeed. Yeah,
irreparable.
I agree. I agree.
So yeah, yeah, totally. And I want, and financial literacy, I think is big for
Yes.
me too.
Yeah.
Like the things that I know now, financially, I want them to know early on. I want them
Earlier.
to not be intimidated by like, the markets or
Yeah.
money markets and things like that. Like get off in there, and I'm willing to invest in you and give you a little something, to get you started.
Yeah.
Because that's what we see other cultures
Yes.
or can do and
Right.
do.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna set you up. I want
Yeah.
I want to set my children up. Like I'm gonna pay for you to go to college so you don't graduate with a bunch of loans. Or if that's your trajectory, assuming that's your trajectory.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get you a little car or whatever. Like I'm gonna set you up. Like
For
I'm
sure.
alley oop. All you got to do is slam dunk it.
Yeah.
So come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And I think it's kind of having a vision for your, like I'm thinking already, like you say, a
Right.
car. I'm
Right.
thinking about 16, even
Yeah.
now. Like, okay, what's the plan going to be?
Right.
So that when I get there, I'm not like, oh,
And-
well,
and that's
because I
why-
want you to be set up.
Right.
Because I need you to be successful and get on and live
get
your
on.
life.
Yeah, now to set you up. Now
That's
you
my
good.
job, is to give
Bye.
you wings.
Right.
Yes.
So you can
Goodbye.
fly. And nature is give you wings. Nature
Absolutely.
teaches us. Like mother bird will push her babies out the nest.
Absolutely.
You gotta go fly.
Yes.
Like I fed you, I done kind of wing
Absolutely.
you now. You gotta get out here and
Yes.
figure it out.
Yes.
And that's kind of what it's to me ultimately about. It wasn't this relationship and dynamic is not designed to be forever.
Right.
It's not designed to be you living with me forever. You're supposed to go live
Exactly.
your life and your purpose, what you were
Yeah.
here to impart, make whatever impact you were here to make. You got to go
That's
figure that
right.
out and do that.
That's right.
You know?
And that's why I want to be intentional about making him the kind of person that can do that.
Right.
So you need the emotional intelligence.
Right.
You need the all the intelligences.
all of
so
them.
you can go out and be that relationship, how to be in relationship with people. I'm trying to equip him
Right.
with what you need so that you can be a successful human being
Yeah.
out
And
there.
that's-
Because I won't be here forever, like you
Right.
said.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have to figure some of this, and even when I am here, some of this you're gonna have to
That
figure
you
out.
still will have to figure out and walk it out for
Absolutely.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because and that lends to my own development, so I can be the best me to set you up to be the best you.
Yes.
So I do have to do the financial literacy
100%.
myself.
I've
so I
got to
can then
become
pour it in you.
absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
so then I'm putting myself in a position to have that, be able to afford that car for you, whatever the case may
Right.
be, through
Yeah.
my financial literacy and acumen.
100%.
So I've got to be the person that can then set you up to be the person. So it helps me
100%.
be better at the same time.
100%. I would totally agree with that. I feel like some of my hustle and stuff comes from the fact that I got a kid. You know, there's
right.
somebody depending on me,
Somebody
and I
depending on me.
do need to become, like you say, so that I can then help you become. You
Right.
know,
because they are
But
watching.
They are
and
watching.
they paying attention to
Yes.
who we are and like you said, mirroring who we are.
Yes,
and
indeed.
The good and the bad.
The good and the
ugly.
bad, and the in between.
Yeah,
Yes, they
mirror it
are.
and they see it, and so
Yes, they are. So that was one of the things, if we talk a little bit about what was kind of unexpected in parenting, was kind of how big of a mirror they can be for you as a parent. You know, you kind of end up seeing yourself for
you like,
the
is that-
areas
do I
where
do
you
that? Do
struggle.
I say
Yeah,
that?
got it honest. Oh my. So then it fuels me to be better.
Yeah,
So that I can show him something different.
Right.
Because some of it may be nurture, some of it may be nature. You know, I may be nurturing him in a way I don't even realize, because until I see it manifest, sometimes he'll be like, damn. Look where you get that from. Who do that? He be like, you? Take my house shoe off and get the spanking. He took that house shoe off that day and was just a fussing. I said, dude, who do that? He was like, you? I was like, okay.
They will
So
show
is
you.
that how I look? Is that what I do? So they will definitely be a mirror for you.
Absolutely.
And I guess I figured that, but to the extent it was a little unexpected for me.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, like, how would you feel if like your kid or kids or whatever case may be are like LGBT, that bother you, or would you struggle with it in any way?
Dude, stop, please. Stop. You know, I think I would not be telling the truth if I said no. I wouldn't struggle, at all. I probably would struggle to some extent with that. Just because, I'm a little more traditional as a Christian, and I feel like that's not, with regard to what the Bible say, that would not be the lifestyle that I would feel like for my child to live. Now, that's just based on my belief system. But I do feel like it's nothing he could do that I would not love him, support him, be right there. So I don't know if I'm fully answering your question, but it could be a lot of different things he may do that I don't agree with, that I might say, well, Mama don't really believe that that's the way, but if that's what it is, and I want you to think about that, because that's another thing I feel like with parenting. I feel like you kind of alluded to it earlier. You kind of in different stages, you become something kind of different.
True.
So it's not for me to tell him what to do or how to live his life, but I will ask some questions to kind of coach. I may become more of a coach. Wait, Duke, stop.
What you want to say?
The older he gets, I feel like you kind of should become more of a coach for your kid, and say like, well, is that something you think? Let's explore that. And I think about. Like I'm a big fan of Funky Dineva, and I follow him, and he's a gay man, and he's talked about he seems to have a lot of like church hurt and a lot of hurt around being gay growing up, and how his grandmother, who was very in the church, how she responded. Stop, Duke, stop. How she responded to that, and it got me to thinking, well, how would I respond? Because I certainly would not want to inflict the kind of pain that I see that he experienced.
Right.
And so I feel like, I probably would more or less be like, well, you know what? Maybe that's something that Mama doesn't quite understand or agree with, but let's explore this together. Let's learn together. Let's go to the Bible together. Let's read other authors. Let's see. Let's explore this together. But there's nothing that I'm not going to turn my back on him. I'm not going to, I'm going to tell him what I think and try to coach him. But ultimately, I'm going to always love my kid.
Absolutely.
And any struggle that I may have with it probably would more so be for not wanting him to have to endure. Because I know how people can be. Right. Especially him being a boy or like a man. Yeah. I don't want him to have certain, because I hear Dineva again and some of the struggles of being a gay man. Like, I just don't want that for him, the struggle part of it as a mother.
Right. And when you, to your point about how society can be, especially black, gay, male, and then to get it from your own family, it's just compounded and potentially hurts more because it's coming from people that you thought loved you or do love you, and you love them, and you look to them for a certain level of comfort and security and support. Yeah, for sure. And guidance and all those things, and it just kind of falls away because of this aspect of who you are. Yeah. So it's good to hear that you would be overall supportive and still loving. Oh, for sure. Because it could really open a person up to just, looking in all the wrong places for that love and acceptance that they're not getting. Yeah. And instead of where people that love you do have an opportunity to just not necessarily agree, but just be there for you. Oh, 100%. Because like I said, there could be a lot of different things that he may do that may be considered, based on the Bible, sin, don't agree. That could be a lot of things, And so I don't put just that in the box and say, well, you can do anything but be that. It's whatever, There could be other things too, but I just, I'm a mother, and I see sometimes with his dad, it's like wanting him to be more of this or that, but I want him to be whoever he is. I want him to be who he is. Yeah, and he's so young. To me, nothing's an indicator of any one thing at this age. I mean, he's just a kid figuring it out and just having fun, just being yourself. So for sure. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I was just I was curious. I know even from my own experience, I think my parenting is affected just by my own the way I was parented, and things I want to see, we keep those things I don't necessarily agree with. Yeah. Then we're gonna do things a little differently. But for sure. I feel like I kind of been on my own since I was like 18 or 19 with regards to like not really being parented anymore. So there were things I had to kind of figure out and make some mistakes along the way. Where that's why I really like what you said about just being there and still being a support system and being that coach. Yeah. Because even just speaking from my own experience, like I had to kind of start figuring it out at an age where I probably could still use some guidance. Yeah. And, so that kind of just made me take the long way. Yeah. In a way. And then, like I say, still some things where I just kind of maybe hard-headed or feel like I know more than I do in certain areas because I didn't necessarily have a certain level of guidance. But
Yeah.
at any rate,
I want him
you
to come to
figure it
me
out.
and feel like he can come to me.
Right.
Feel like you build that trust.
Build that trust and a relationship where you feel like he can talk to you.
Absolutely. Anything.
Come to you.
Whatever it is. We'll figure it out together. We'll, but I don't want him to take a wrong road because he doesn't feel like he has the love or the support. And it's hard. It end up being harder for him.
Right. And then you alienate him. And then it's like,
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
you left up to your own devices or whatever the world is offering you.
Yes.
Because at least somebody's paying attention to you. Or acting like they're interested in you where your family was not.
Exactly.
So, that's a big one.
Yeah, I tell them all the time. There's nothing you could do that mama wouldn't love you. It's no conditions on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm prepared for my daughter to go either way.
Either way, huh?
I'd be okay, whatever, obviously, because I'm already in that lifestyle, so I can't be like, that's not acceptable or nothing like that. But I really don't care. If she got a girlfriend, whatever. She got a boyfriend, whatever. Just be good people. Just be responsible and upstanding and treat others like you want to be treated. Treat others with respect.
Yeah, sure.
We all one. We all a community. That's all I could really ask.
100%. I could not agree more. I'm trying to raise a good human being.
Yeah,
go out in the world and be good. Just be above
good
all else. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah,
because
be a light and.
Yeah.
Make a difference.
And make a difference. Be great. Be good. Treat people well. Treat yourself well. Yeah. So
Yeah. Then he might have a girlfriend and a boyfriend. Now that I think about it, these kids really into like polyamory.
They are.
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect at that point. I really have to just
by the
get
time they
ready.
get that's true.
Because even like in the age of social media and so many different things, like I don't know. Like I don't know. It'll probably keep me on my toes for sure. Yeah. Because if there may be things that's even, make me, clutch my chest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's true. That's true. That is so true. That is so true. Well, they grow up very fast now. They do. They have so much more exposure. You watch that tablet and stuff. He said something earlier. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. Or something he was saying.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All right, your eyes.
When he gets shy, he does that. So no, but no, thank you for asking and your curiosity on that. Yeah, we'll take it one day at a time.
Hey, that's all any of us can do. But I do want other children, so I think just around that, because then you're not just parenting just one person, you parents multiple people and potentially outnumbered when it's you and a spouse, and you got 3 kids, we outnumbered at that point. But I just want to foster community. And if I can get them to buy into the fact that, even within our home, we're a community. Yeah. So it's like we always move with the good of the community. We clean the kitchen or whatever.
I've heard Brene Brown kind of say something similar to that. Like, it's like, does you doing this new activity, how does it impact the whole? Right. And I can appreciate that. I can.
You drop the ball on your responsibilities to the whole, like, that could potentially be unfavorable. So if I can get them to buy into understanding that we are a unit and we all, not just me and their mom, but, and then they have a voice in the whole thing and they're a part of it. And hopefully they'll really buy into, a shared success. Like we all share in the success or failure of this.
I love
so
that.
we gotta clean up. We gotta, I'm not just doing things to be mean or to, make life boring. But these are all things required to sustain our community.
100%. I love that. I love that within the home, that community. Because so often you can call it, well, I did mine.
Right.
Okay. But, if just because you did yours, but we got to work together to kind of make this all work,
Because it's something to me, an idea that's lost even outside of the home. Or
I agree.
I think that's a lot of why we see what we see, the destruction around our country and the world at large.
I agree.
Everybody's forgotten about the sense of community, and it's all about self. It's all about what's in it for me. Yeah. What do I get? What do they get and I don't get? And, but let's just be about helping each other, uplifting each other. No,
I agree. And I think it's important to raise children with that mindset because naturally children are just kind of selfish beings. Yeah. Dude, stop. They just selfish naturally. And so, but it's like as a parent, I can't just worry about me. I have to worry about, when I go to the store, I don't just get food for me. I get food for the whole house. Right. So it's kind of having everybody embody that mindset that we all do our part, like I I do my part. And so if I didn't do my part, you wouldn't eat, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we all need to have something that we contribute. Duke, stop. Please, stop. Please, you are not listening today. Okay? It'll be the first and last time you come. Okay? To the podcast.
You're getting the gentle parenting. You're getting the benefit
You
of
getting the
being on
right,
TV.
exactly. That you getting it gentle. But I don't know if this speaks to my overall parenting that he's not doesn't appear to be listening to me today. So I don't know. And I think to that end, because he's like the only one that I had, little one that I have, it's kind of like he tends to probably get more and get coddled a little more than if I had probably another kid. I'd have to kind of divide my attention or divide the pie, and I don't have to. He kind of gets everything. Yeah. So I think sometimes you may parent differently depending on how many children you have. You know what I mean? That may affect your approach. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, overall. Absolutely. Come here, dude.
Like, yeah, then she gonna have to get in line and be more of a leader because she'll have people under her. So I need you to get it together because I got to tend to them.
Right.
Two, I may need you to help with them or whatever. So it'll affect her experience growing up in our home.
The dynamic,
but also how I parent and what my expectations of her could potentially be. Mm-hmm. So, but speaking of, let me see.
Is she here?
She may be here.
Is she here? Come on, dude.
I'm gonna excuse myself for 1 second.
Yes, by all means, come here. Your cousin is here. Come here, Duke. Are you going to say something on camera? Are you going to say something? Come here. Yes, your cousin is Demi Faye. Now is your opportunity to say hello. You just were impatient. Come here. Come here and say hello. Come here. Come here. Come here, sit with mama. Come here. Okay, now you can talk in the mic. Okay?
Right now?
Yeah, do you want to say something? Do you want to say hi? Look up there, you see?
Say hello. Hello. Did you meet Duke? And I love my mom and her so pretty. And I forgive her and her so pretty.
Aw, Duke.
And I love her and her my mom. And I never tell her to do nothing. I never kick her out the house.
Well, thank you, son, for not kicking me out the house. Thank you. You did good, dude. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I would because my mom is Tobin and her and my great mom.
Oh, thank you so much. You wanna sing a little bit of Hallelujah?
Her so good and I like her, but her so pretty.
Oh, well, thank you, Duke. Mama really appreciates the compliments. Mama wants you to be a good boy, okay? You've not been listening very well today, but do you want to sing Hallelujah?
No.
No, you don't want to sing? I thought you wanted to sing a little bit. There's Demi. Damn, she looks so pretty. No, that's okay. Hey, Demi, babe. Hi. You see yourself?
My daddy called me Woo.
Hi.
Yes. Say I wooed him.
Hi.
That Duke.
There's Duke. Duke, say hi to Demi. Give a kiss. There's your cousin. Say hi.
Yeah, she know Duke. Look at her.
She remembers you, Duke. Give a kiss.
Give her a kiss.
Y'all were together last weekend. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Demi. Is there something that you want to say? Duke had his little moment with the people. Yes, right. Yes.
You want to say something? Dad. Is that Duke?
That's Duke, Demi. Hey, Demi. So these are the ones that we parents and where we get our experiences from that we discussed today.
Yeah,
these are the little ones.
Toes.
Yes, they keep us on our toes for sure.
But we kind of do the whole gender role thing, kind of not. I think Sharona's just naturally a nurturer.
Yeah.
And she carried Demi, gave birth to a mom and all that. But one thing I'm kind of seeing parenting is just parenting.
Yeah. So
you just kind of get in and try to do what need to be done.
Yeah.
At any given time. Like this morning with the walk, like I had her at home because Sharona had gone early to help out, set up and stuff like that. So, I'm doing hair, I'm combing hair, and getting the banana out of her hair that she had for breakfast. And so it's like you just do it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You just do what it takes.
That's true.
You picking up where Duke left off.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
And
indeed.
Your daddy cannot afford to replace this
Say it,
mic.
that's
So I need
okay.
you to stop touching.
That is okay. She looks so pretty.
Oh, this is the dress you bought, a matter of fact.
Yes, Demi, you look so pretty in your yellow dress. Auntie been
thank
meaning to
you.
get you some yellow bows.
Auntie.
I am delinquent on that, and I gotta hurry for you. Outgrow your dress.
Hey, Auntie.
Yes, get your yellow bow. Yes, you look so pretty. Hey, my baby. That's my sugar plum. That's my sugar plum. Hey, sugar plum.
Demi Faye. See, I'm named after both of my grandmothers,
I love it.
Donna and Lottie Faye.
Oh,
Demi Faye.
oh, Demi
You
Dims.
said that, Dad? You want to get down and play with Duke?
Thank you, Duke, for sharing your poppet with Demi.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't let you down.
You
Talking about to get in something.
You being such a big boy.
Show 'em you can
Thank
walk.
you.
So,
Hey. Well, I think that's awesome. I think we've hit most of the parenting topics that we had planned to hit today. I will add just very briefly that I'm also a bonus parent. And I kind of touched on having the bonus kids a little earlier when we talked about COVID and all that stuff. And so, you know, that's another type of parenting that I
absolutely.
think, yeah, maybe I feel like there are probably some commonalities amongst bonus parents that most bonus parents probably can agree on. But I'm sure at the same time, every bonus parent probably has their own unique experience and
For sure.
perspective.
Because I think there are different variables even with that. Is the other
Yes.
parent, involved? What level are they involved?
Right,
Or,
exactly.
Are you
Exactly.
marrying someone who the kids live with them, or do they give visitation? And
Yeah,
so it's just so many
100%.
varying degrees of how that even works out.
All of that definitely, I'm sure, affects your experience as a bonus parent, depending on all of those factors.
Yeah.
Definitely come into play. So I just approach it with leading with love and letting the parents kind of guide and dictate the approach, like the boundaries, or
Yeah, definitely.
let them lead and you just kind of find your place,
And
in it all.
I think that's a great approach. Like, let me know.
Y'all let me know.
What the
Let me know
boundaries
what
are. I'd love to
road-
be a part of this in whatever capacity I
Absolutely.
can that you all and the children find comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just
That's-
stay in the lane, play your part.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's tends to be my approach. I want to be a good role model for them and, be there to support them however they need me. But yeah, definitely just letting the parents lead and I just lead with love. I have the absolute pleasure of being a bonus mom to 3 dynamic, beautiful, wonderful individuals. Like they're really, really good kids.
They are.
And they're just beautiful souls, and they are just so sweet. Like I don't have horror stories about them the way they treat me. Like they are they're
I be
so
looking
kind,
for them.
so
like,
nice.
where the triplets? And they triplets, which is cool. Because we're twins, they triplets. So it's cool. Like we
It
kind of
is.
get the whole
Yes,
being
being a
sibling
multiple.
tandem,
Yes, exactly.
of it all. So
Yes,
it's
definitely,
really cool.
definitely,
I be
definitely.
looking for the trio.
The trips, So very beautiful. I'm very blessed. The very, very beautiful
Indeed.
individuals that I get to parent.
Yeah, we both are,
Yeah.
So I don't take any of it for granted.
For sure.
Even sitting here watching our kids play together now, like, it's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
It's a
It
blessing.
absolutely is a blessing. Who would have thought?
I know, right?
Who would have
Who would've
thought?
thought?
All these years, and here we are with kids of our own. They down there playing together. Hey, Timmy. Hey, my boo. Well, with that, any final thoughts, twin?
Nah.
On parenting,
no,
parenthood?
just it's a blessing, and
It is.
it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
For sure. It's definitely a labor of love. You definitely be tired. I need a little
Yeah.
concealer, little the
grays
bags,
come in
the
a little
gray.
heavier.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But like you say, wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Well, with that, twin, where can they follow you? Where can they?
I'm Coach Pharrell on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
All right. All
I
right.
let your boy.
Hello to Mrs. O on Instagram and Facebook as well. And, got the blog and all that out of there. We have to put some links in the show notes where you guys can find us. But we do appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, send us comments, send us feedback. We'd love to hear all about it. But on that note, we're going to let y'all go. And we do thank you again for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the conversation. Peace. 2 fingers up for the twins.